Infrastructure assets are extremely high emitters today of CO2. 75% of emissions worldwide are coming from infrastructure assets. 75% of those 75% come from emerging and developing countries. So the initiative was born out of the One Planet initiative, the One Planet Summit. There was a focus on emerging and developing countries, but the idea really was, what are the practical solutions that will help mobilize finance so we can have more renewable, we can have more deployment of technologies that we need for the transition to net zero. And the bank can do a couple of things. It can do more with its balance sheet to provide financing, and it can also participate in broader multi-stakeholder coalitions that are going to be focusing on accelerating the transition to net zero. And the FAST-Infra initiative is one of these. So there are many definitions out there. There are many taxonomies. There is not something which is globally accepted or more or less, it's never global, but which is widely accepted and which would help investors and financiers assess the sustainability quality of infrastructure assets. So the beauty, I think, of the label is its inclusion of a resiliency and adaptation dimension. So making sure that whatever infrastructure asset we develop does include criteria and characteristics to make sure that it is going to be resilient and it is going to be adapted to climate change. I think that's extremely important. Approximately 35% of the technologies which we need to be net zero by 2050 do not really exist today, or not at scale. So they may exist in the lab, or they may exist at small scale, but they need to be scaled up. So we think we've got a role to play to accelerate that transition. Nascent technologies, help bring them to maturity, do more in terms of deployment of renewables, particularly in emerging and developing countries where it's not always easy for a variety of reasons. It's a multi-stakeholder initiative. It's looking for solutions that are extremely important in the context of the transition. It's looking to fill a gap which has been, to a large extent, hindering participation of private sector investment and which, in our view, will facilitate the mobilization of finance. And it will really make a difference. It will start, hopefully, to have an impact on capital allocation and therefore provide a very strong signal to developers and to sponsors to make sure that their infrastructure asset is developed according to the sustainability standards of the FAST-Infra Label. So very exciting and great work done by the team.